Each and every one of the individuals that you're going to meet here, they've used the system like myself. They started out in one place, and they primarily they took action. They came on board. We did exactly what we're doing with you. And they used the system. They made some major changes, and they basically joined our team here. We don't allow anybody to work with anybody who isn't actively using the system and hasn't used the system for a period of time. So, because again, I'm a big, big believer. If I'm going to ask someone to do something, well, I have to be doing it myself. Like, what type of consultant, what type of coach is going to go ahead and be telling you what you need to do if they're not doing it themselves? It'd be like going to a gym. Imagine you go to a leisure center, you go to a gym, and you hire a personal trainer, and they're going to be there and they're going to help you get fit. And all of a sudden, some grossly overweight, sloppy person shows up, and they say, "Hi, I'm your personal trainer." I don't think it's going to really inspire you to take that action. This is the same principle. All the individuals on our team, all the accountability buddies, before, in addition to the training they go through and everything else, they all use the system. So what we want to do now is, hopefully they're listening. I'm not even watching. So we'll start out with Linda. Linda, I'm assuming you're available. You're listening.
Okay, that's good. I think the camera's on. Hi, everybody. Thanks for that, Patrick. That was a nice introduction. What a great morning so far. I hope everybody's enjoying it. I'm sure we all are. So thanks for the opportunity then to talk about my journey with the One Source. I've got about 10 minutes and I've got quite a lot of slides to go through. So at the moment I've got who can share only host. So have you handed the host over?
Linda, just so you know, you can go a few minutes over. You're all right. I'm not going to hold you to 10 minutes.
That's fine. You can time it. I won't. That's fine. Hold on. There we go. I think. Okay, then. So it's hello from me, Linda Wheatley. And as Patrick so rightly says, as well as a personal development consultant with the One Source Personal Development Network, I am a life and executive coach practitioner. And I've been given just 10 minutes or so just to talk really about my journey with the One Source Personal Development Network. So what have we got next? Yeah, I thought it would be quite fun and quite interesting just to let you know a little bit about my career. There I am, a fresh-faced 19-year-old when I came to the big metropolis of Dumfries in Scotland, as it was to me in those days, just as a wee country girl, came up to do my mental health nurse training. And as qualified as a mental health nurse, and I spent the next 5 or 6 years working with people living with dementia. So I worked in a dementia assessment unit. I then moved into a day centre, so it was assessing elderly people out in their own homes and bringing them into the day centre for just for kind of various treatments and therapy. I was then lucky enough to become a service manager in the community. At that point in time, it was all about getting people out of mental health services and into their own homes, integration of care into the community. And I was really fortunate to then support and work with some of the service users who I kind of looked after in some of the longer term wards when I was training and help them to live in the community. I also was able to support staff and do some team training and team building as I managed the services. And then I later on went to work in drug and alcohol services for a short period of time. I'm currently still a care inspectorate officer. It's a great title. It's a very privileged job for me. So I work with the care inspectorate in Scotland. It's the Scottish version of the CQC in England. So I'm reporting to Scottish Government to drive up standards of care. I work within the Public Services Reform Act and towards health and social care standards. So really, I go into care homes, care services, into people's own homes where they have care at home. And as an inspector, it's looking at the standard of care, really making sure that people receive good care. Again, working with individual staff, teams, managers, providers, people out in the community. It's a great job. And in among all of that, I've also running my own life and executive coach practitioner business. So those are running alongside, and the hope is that one day to kind of just remain as the life coach. But at the moment, I'm kind of working with the two. So I'm developing people and delivering results. Just a little bit extra about me too. I'm just the founder of our local vegan journey group in Dumfries and Galloway. Just as a vegan on their journey a few years ago, I was looking for help and support. So somebody suggested I set up a group, and here we are, a couple hundred people later. I also do PR for a local musician in the Northeast, and the author of my first book, which is just about to go to publication in the next, few months, hopefully. So there you go. So really, why did I join the team then, and what has OneSource done for me? Like anybody else, I'm just not quite sure really how I found Patrick's advert, but I did. Obviously, the appeal for working as a consultant, helping people to learn and develop and grow and be the best they can be, and for me to be able to have that opportunity to learn and grow alongside, what was not to like? So there we go. I enrolled with the course and with Patrick, and like everybody else, very quickly saw the results, of focus, balance and purpose, and all those four key areas that you spoke about. One of the things that I've learned is stars plus numbers equals actions. I wanted to put that in there because I'm continually intrigued about how numbers and stars can equate to actions and outcomes for people. And it's the simplicity of the whole program and the system that Patrick has in place that kind of makes that happen, which is something that I love. Another thing that I've learned from being with this course, using this system, is being the traveller as well as where you are travelling to. Obviously, being a life coach, I'm very goal orientated, and it's about the end result. But it's really important to remember that it's not such the destination, it's what you do to get there. It's making sure that you have fun as you're travelling to get to where you want to be. Patrick's system and the dashboard really keeps me grounded. I don't know if you can see, but I'm quite excitable, and when I have goals, I'm so busy focusing on where I need to be, it can be difficult to stay grounded. And this is what the dashboard does and the system does. It lets me stay grounded every single day and stay focused on what I'm doing now, as well as where I'm heading. Darren Hardy has been introduced to me just through some of Patrick's training too, and that's just one of the little talks that he does on a day. Kind of reminded me of that about the purpose, the why you're doing what you're doing, strive for excellence and joy in everything, and just continue to grow and surpass your goals if you can. So really looking at OneSource as a company, there's been quite a few things here too. Obviously from the company, I found it's a good value base. For me, authenticity, good values are very important for who I meet, who I work with, who I connect with. And I've found that here within the OneSource, coming from a place of integrity and respect for people's time, for people's expertise, non-judgmental about where people are in their own journey, and just that genuine curiosity and passion to get them to where they want to be. Loving the repetition, because each day and each time you hear everything and you focus on everything, it's as Patrick says, it's just kind of embedding those really good habits. I love the good use of language. I work a lot with legislation and a lot of big words sometimes, and it's just refreshing to be able to do training that, it makes sense and you understand it easily. You get to trial, test and report. So, the training that we did, I got a few weeks to do the system that you're being kind of shown today. So you're able to kind of find how it works for you. Lovely, slow, steady space and great business ethics, as I've said. I can't even put on one page about what I've learned about the product. There is so much. Obviously, being in this kind of work, my personal development and growth, I'm continuing to learn and develop every day in all kinds, legislation, best practice, all the coaching things. These are just some of the things, I've learned with Patrick's system, as I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with. People that I'd never heard of before, Mel Robbins, The Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Compound Effect. These are books I probably would never even have looked at without really knowing what was behind them. And of course, they all fit into the system really well. The people in the organisation, in the company, again, what can we say? Patrick's got great values. I love his vision, his enthusiasm, his motivation and the training. And I love the partnership working. It's been embedded right from the start that we're in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. And Patrick really does live and breathe that, which is refreshing. For the clients that I'm fortunate enough to work with, it's lovely to be able to work with people that are all passionate about their own personal growth and making themselves and the world a better place. They're all looking to learn and grow and become consultants with others. That's so refreshing too. And because of that, I learn and grow, and I'm motivated and excited too. The consultants, it's great to meet other consultants, get the support, sharing of ideas and positivity and the good meeting of minds. And we're all working from the same common objectives. I wanted to share this slide with you because I haven't actually met the real life Fiona, Shrek and Prince Charming, but in the group of consultants that I've met, and we've started having some meetings just to support each other and talk about common things. And it's also important to have fun. So in among all the meetings and the chat that we have about, you know, being a consultant, it's great to keep that sense of fun. And these are some of the nicknames we have for each other. I won't say who these people are, but I feel privileged to have met them, that they're lovely consultants and lovely people. So basically, I just wanted to finish up the last couple of slides, my own personal growth just through the system. So obviously now my first, the most important is a relationship with myself, which I think being a person that was busy, always there for others, never really thought about me. Now I wake up every day and it's really, you know, what's going to float my boat today, what's going to keep me healthy and safe. The daily action plan is reviewed daily and weekly and monthly, so I never lose sight of what I'm about and where I'm heading today and what needs to happen. The major definite purpose that you're going to be doing this afternoon, absolutely amazing for me, really defined a lot for me. And every single day I have this question, how is what I'm doing now serving my major definite purpose? And if it's not, well, it's not happening. It's as simple as that. I've become a personal development consultant. I'm looking to revamp my coaching business and kind of reach out and work more in the corporate world. I've got my dad and daily talks to keep me motivated, lost the extra COVID weight. I'm following my dream. I've become, you know, a better life coach and now a development consultant. And I've really smashed the money management, which has been excellent for me. What's also been good is I've been able to take part in the personal growth of others, which is really important to me. I've become an accountability buddy, always there for other people too. You know, I've been able to do some coaching for clients when they've needed just that little bit of extra time and support to kind of think about what they need. I've gained more networks and more friends as a result, and I'm inspiring and motivating other people to make the changes they want to in their lives. I'm loving developing individuals and teams, and I'm growing in my own confidence, energy and positivity. And what's more important is making really good, consistent, lasting changes with my focus in perspective. So as I've said there, I'm really looking forward to the next part of my journey, and I hope to see some of you along the way, and I'm enjoying working with the ones that I've connected with so far. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day with Patrick.
Right, my story. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here because I think you've had some pretty good presentations from Linda and Patrick so far. I work in the corporate world. I'm what you call a strategic sourcing manager, but I usually get called in when there's problems and they need sorting with suppliers or materials that are hard to find. I love my job. I've been working in that corporate sector for about 35 years, and I actually thought I was really good at it, and I am good at it, but I thought that was the end and end all of everything. So it wasn't until we got into COVID last year, I suddenly I realized there was something missing and there wasn't something quite there in my life. I thought I had a great relationship with my family. I thought I was earning a decent amount of money, but I was letting certain things go. And one of the big things that I let go was my personal fitness and my own body shape. Let's just say, look at the next picture. Or press the wrong keyboard. I ballooned to well over 17 stone 10 pounds, about 112 kilos, which is nearly 250 pounds. You could remember I'm only like 5'6", so I'm quite short. And by the way, I'm Shrek in Linda's presentation. as you can see, I've got the roundish face like that. I've got the ears, and I do sometimes go green when I get a little bit, irate. But what I noticed that my energy levels were really bad. I realized that there's something that had to change, and I had to change, and it was within me. It wasn't what other people wanted, it was what I wanted. So what I did is I went through the whole process of we have in One Source. I started putting some actions together. I started different diets. The diets didn't work, they didn't suit me. I tried running, I tried jogging, I tried doing little walks, but I find that because I work long hours, I work 10, 12-hour days, I couldn't fit it into what I was doing. So then I had to constantly change my actions to where I got something that actually worked for me. Because you got to remember, the whole system's designed around you, and not what I do, what Patrick does, or what Linda does. It's individually tailored around yourself. So what I did is I gave up with the diets. I then started counting calories. It started this year. I've been doing it for 5 months without any success. And suddenly this year I'm counting calories, suggested made to me by Patrick. So I limited my calorie content. I also made sure I went walking. When I do all my conference calls in the morning, I go walking. And I listen to the conference calls. I talk. I stop and talk when I need to and take part in the conference calls. But I built the whole of my walking regime and my new exercise regime around the work and how it fitted into my life. And I'm glad to say over the last 5 months, hit the wrong keyboard again, I've now lost just short of 3 stone 6 pounds, or 21, nearly 22 kilos, or 48 pounds. And this is literally as of yesterday, these weights are. So I'm down to 91 kilos. I've still got a long way to go, but my energy levels are so much better. My entire health seems a lot better. I sleep a lot more. I now get an average of 6.5, 7 hours sleep a night. And I'm a guy who used to sleep on 1, 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep. I'm a lot happier. I've noticed I'm a lot more confident when it comes to, I never really took much notice of my body shape, but now that I actually do feel a lot more confidence when I go into face-to-face meetings again. I've also noted that I'm actually starting to take a pride in myself as well. I've actually just employed a personal trainer, so I'm now doing 2 training sessions a week for an hour at a time. And I'm doing these virtually because of the COVID situation, but I have noticed that I am feeling a lot better. It's improved relationship with my partner, my family, and also a lot of people have noticed that I don't get out of breath all the time. I can walk 5, 6 miles without any issues. I started off with slowly. I would do like a 10-minute walk each day and a 15-minute walk each day. And then I changed that to number of steps. So I now try to do at least an hour and a half walking a day, or 10,000 plus steps. This month I'm averaging about 12,500 steps per day, which is brilliant. You may notice I also like to talk because that's something I do in my job anyway. And I've got a funny feeling my camera's off, but I didn't know that. I do apologise. To be honest, I think that's about it for me. But I have noticed what you need to do really is it's all about knowing exactly what your outcomes are and what you want to do, and making sure that if you don't see the results, they're being monitored on a daily or weekly basis. Make some adjustments so that you actually do make some different changes. You make some steps forward, and also remember the compound effect. Little tiny steps mount up over time, and then you'll see major changes after a certain amount of time.
Perfect. Good man, Sean. Good man, Sean. Sean is, I tell you what, I met Sean, how long was it? A little over a year ago, wasn't it, Sean, that you and I started working
together? May of last year.
Yeah, so a little over a year ago, Sean and I started working together. And as Sean said himself, rightfully so, he was like myself at the time. You know, he wasn't in the best of shape, and I'm not saying anything out of school. He knows that himself. But the transformation that I've seen Sean make in the last year has been nothing short of remarkable. He's like not only, it just seems to me anyway, and maybe I'm not the best person to say it, but yeah, physically, he's definitely, you could see he's lost the weight. His energy level just seems like it's just absolutely exploded. But he's just, his passion and his belief in what he does is absolutely unreal. Like Sean, and he does this, I've never even asked him to do this, but Sean sends everybody at literally between 7:15 every morning. He'll send everybody either a motivational, inspirational, educational video, a quick clip from YouTube, always different articles and book recommendations, shows up at all the different trainings. And he's not only working a full-time job, doing a lot of hours on his job, massive amount of hours on his job, but he's also managing a nice few clients with us as well, because he believes in it. He believes in it so strongly, and you could see that. He cares about the people he works with. He really, truly does want to make sure that, he helps to the best of his ability, helps people to create that lasting change that they're looking for. So, but no, well done, Sean. It's been really a pleasure working with you the last year. I'm really blessed to have people like Sean and Linda and Steve around me.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for the kind introduction, Patrick, and opportunity to speak here today. I hope everyone's enjoying the day. I know I am. It's a great introduction to the One Source system, which has really helped me. So my name's Steve, and as Patrick I think mentioned, I'm a One Source personal development consultant and a master NLP practitioner. I'm based in Leicester in the UK. And like Linda, I've been given 10 minutes to just provide a bit of background about myself, my own journey in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that is, and also how One Source has helped me since I started using the system in February this year, so just 5 months ago. So my background, my talk will probably be a bit more emotional. Yeah, I think give you a feel for my own journey and where I've come from. So for most of my working life in the corporate energy industry, I struggled to be heard. I often really doubted myself, felt afraid to share my opinions in front of others, and just felt I didn't belong or fit in, and felt a lot of pressure on this. It certainly took me a while to move past it, but I did, and I now have a very focused goal to devote myself to help enhance the lives of others and guide them towards being the best version of themselves. So I remember a specific memory in 2014 when I unfortunately experienced continuous bullying in my corporate role at work. And I remember specifically there was a moment where I actually said to myself, no more letting myself feel this way, no more feeling inferior, no more putting myself down and letting myself be treated like this, and telling myself these things. And without realizing, I actually started to take more control of my life. And I spent years reading, attending courses and exhibitions on personal development and learning the mental, emotional, physical and spiritual aspects of self-healing. And this led to me starting to gain more confidence, look inwards, find my inner voice, for example, through teaching English online. And all of this led to me developing an increased determination to get out of a place where I didn't want to be. And I particularly resonated with the teachings of Richard Bandler, the co-creator of neuro-linguistic programming, with Brené Brown, with Tony Robbins, with Wayne Dyer, and books from Stephen Covey, The Seven Highly Effective People, Think, Grow Rich, the book from Napoleon Hill, and one of my first ones, which kind of started it off, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, by Susan Jeffers, a terrifying yet brilliantly true book about stepping out of your comfort zone and taking consistent action in the direction you want to go. So I started reflecting on the reasons that led me to that point in my life and what was really holding me back. And the reason I say this is because this all allowed me to get to a place within myself where I felt more enabled to manage my emotions and start to change the way I think and feel and learn from the past to become the person I wanted to be. And I remember continually asking myself during my own journey, and I still do, what will be the price of doing nothing? Again, I increasingly realized the cost across the board of doing nothing on my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. So realizing that I had the power within me to determine my own life, I reconnected to what brings me joy and fulfills me more, and made the decision to continue my own personal development by qualifying as a master NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, and now OneSource personal development consultant, for the sole purpose of helping me move along first. And now my passionate goal and focus is to use this to help others. So a very brief bit of my background in neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. NLP has always fascinated me, in particular the creation of unconscious shifts to overcome and replace deep-held limiting beliefs, the things we tell ourselves we can't do, and basically replace these limiting beliefs with empowering new beliefs and behaviors. Now, I experienced this firsthand myself, around my own beliefs and lack of self-esteem and self-worth, which I must say absolutely rocked my world and really started my own journey. And now I've learned many techniques and tools to work with people's unconscious minds, to deal with problematic and unwanted feelings, experiences, beliefs and behaviors, and guide them to access the resources and strategies needed to overcome what is holding them back and confidently achieve the results they want. The principles of NLP sit very well with me, and it's similar principles in OneSource and around your associative conditioning. That is putting the client first, developing rapport and trust, and only going as far as they are comfortable with. So on to the next slide now, if you could, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks. And I'll just go into a little bit of detail about how the OneSource system has helped me, which you can see in the points on the slide. So I started using the OneSource system nearly 5 months ago, where my relationship with my wife was not the greatest, I'll admit. I struggled to prioritize enough time to connect with her and others. My health and fitness were not particularly good, and my finances were not in great shape. And despite working so much on myself, attending courses, being really qualified as a coach and NLP practitioner, I'd only been practicing NLP and coaching to a small number of clients, and I just knew I wanted to enhance the lives of others and provide this wonderful service. I just didn't know exactly how, and by working with the system, this has also improved, and I have a much better focus now towards achieving this goal. So I love the simplicity and accountability of the OneSource system and how it guides you, and it's guided me in my own direction and focus in life. The system has helped to change my life for the better, and I increasingly feel taking daily consistent action, completing activities important to me, is helping me to grow into a better, happier, and more effective individual. And the system has also enabled me to bring focus to the weaker areas of my life and taught me how to live a more balanced life, while also tenaciously pursuing my goal to become self-employed and helping enhance people's lives as my profession and guiding them to be the best version of themselves. The consultant mentioned for Sean, assigned to me, he followed up with me daily when I started and still does, motivating me every step of the way, and was completely dedicated to my self-improvement, which I found reassuring, refreshing, and a fantastic help to keep me on track and build my own momentum and keep me moving. And I do think of this OneSource system taking consistent daily action, very much like Albert Einstein said in the quote, "Life is like a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." As Linda mentioned, I've met some fantastic people, and we now have a weekly masterclass to brainstorm and connect. And I'm very grateful for this bond we're developing, supporting each other. I'm not sure I quite fit the Prince Charming name for myself, but yeah, I do my best. But the point about the weekly masterclasses is you don't feel alone in growing your business, and I think that's really important, and it only enhances growing my own business, and it's wonderful to meet such like-minded people as well. So some specific highlights and results I've gained from the system are: I feel more connected in my relationships. I'm experiencing greater depth in my relationships due to the daily consistency developing relationship with myself and others, and my wife as a priority. So spending real quality time with my wife, to uplifting and being kind to colleagues at work, and taking time out just to connect with friends and family. In terms of health and fitness, physically, I feel I'm taking much better care of my body, consistently sleeping 7 hours, for example, having a healthier diet, fewer takeaways, eating less junk foods, such as crisps and chocolate. In the area of personal growth, I've managed to complete most of my activities daily. It's more of a routine now, including meditation, priming myself through NLP, listening to uplifting motivational talks every day, and consistently doing things to step out of my comfort zone, which can be small or can also include like presenting in front of others. So as a result, I feel more energized and in touch with who I am and the direction I'm going and where I want to be. Now, my weaker area, finances, is slowly improving by taking consistent daily action. And for me, this involves embedding as a habit the daily tracking of my financial spend, the saving by having fewer takeaways, and building up my awareness and knowledge of how to better handle my finances through TED Talks, and particularly Tony Robbins' book, Master the Money Game, which I'm reading through. So just to spend a minute or so finishing now, the confidence and increased focus has most definitely helped me by taking daily consistent action through the system. And I fully believe this has helped me in being successful and offered a higher level corporate job in the energy industry where I work. My interview was very good, and I feel use of the One Source system certainly helped that. And this new job will serve me and help me in my own journey to achieve my long-term vision to work full-time in personal development, helping enhance people's lives. And just want to finish by saying I feel the One Source system is a fantastic and groundbreaking system. And just to emphasize, taking the daily consistent action has allowed me to become more confident, develop more skills, and become more effective as a practitioner, coach, and consultant, as well as making changes to achieve more balance in my own life. The systems help me day on day work on my limiting beliefs, take action in my weaker areas, gently step out of my comfort zone at my own pace, and I feel less reactive, have more confidence, better focus, higher energy, as each and every day I focus on my key areas. And by doing this, I realize I'm achieving a minimum standard in each area and feel in a greater state of flow. I'm not putting out fires regularly anymore, as I'm taking the time to proactively design my life and take action accordingly, bit by bit, day by day, consistently. And I'm now a One Source personal development consultant, really grateful for the opportunity. And I'm really focused to do this and also build up my own NLP business full time in the next year. So finally, I'd just like to sum up how I see the One Source system: the simplicity, the gentle accountability supporting me at my own pace moving forward on my own journey in a process that gently builds momentum and supports you along the way. So if you could just go on to the final slide. Thanks, Patrick. This is a quote from Samuel Smiles, which I'll just share. As I said, I believe this emphasizes and really well how the One Source system supports your own momentum and your own journey. So, sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. And that quote's by Samuel Smile. So thank you very much. And I hope you thoroughly enjoy the rest of the workshop with Patrick. Thanks.
Corinne, are you listening there? Yeah. If you want to just unmute yourself, if you can go ahead and
Yes. Can you hear
lovely.
me?
There she is. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Look, I do apologize. I wanted to get to Corinne before the break, but because we ran a little bit over, I didn't want to be cutting into anybody's lunchtime or anything like that. So, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to introduce you to Corinne. Corinne is, well, we saved the best for last, I suppose. She's got an amazing background, really unique individual. It tells a little bit about who she is, but this doesn't touch on half of what this woman has done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Corinne. She's going to tell you a little bit about, well, her background, a very unique background in education, and some of the things she's done as far as linguistic strategist and translation, and her leadership skills in education, and some of the passions that she has for working with children, and where she's worked all over the world, and the amazing positions that she's held. But I want her to share a little bit about that, but also too about her journey with OneSource and the system. And again, Corinne is one of our personal development consultants. So Corinne is one of the individuals who will be supporting the people on their journey over the next 30 days. So Corinne, look, I'm just going to turn it over to you. You go ahead and you take as long as you need within reason. And we will go ahead and just let you do what you got to do.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patrick. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the presentation this morning. I certainly did with myself. It's always, for me, a boost of motivation, energy, and positivity, really, really strong. Keep me going with this OneSource network team, fantastic team. Let me introduce myself and tell you who I am, my background, and then explain you why I have joined this fantastic network, and what is my goal and purpose, and to explain you a little bit what is going to help you to benefit from and take you further and make progress with that. I am an experienced educator over than 25 years. Also, I am a linguist, strategic specialist in translations for companies, books all over the world. But recently, I have specialized myself in teacher leadership and education context, and I am based in Scotland. Yes, in Scotland. However, I was born in Casablanca, and I was raised in Paris, in Saint-Germain, where I followed my education in international education, then went to university, La Sorbonne. I have studied languages with marketing, science, political science, communications, and many others subjects, probably just like you all. And then the education, why education? Education because I am absolutely passionate about the learner pathways and securing positive, sustained destination for young people. For me, the key to success in every terms is education. Without education, I think the world will be completely lost. As Nelson Mandela said, the most powerful weapon is education. Prior to that, I worked in the French Ministry of Europe and Foreign Affairs in Paris, in Quai d'Orsay, where I specialized in international relations and diplomacy. Also, I was a head and the coordinator of training operation for diplomats, successfully talking over than 200 languages. So I have worked closely with the leaders of the world. It was absolutely a fantastic experience. That experience leads me to be expat in Scotland. Believe me or not, all of you, I ended up in Scotland because we had 7 choices, and my first choice of countries expat was America, Canada, New Zealand, and among other countries. I needed one more choice, and I chosen Scotland. And lucky as I was, I ended up in Scotland in the rain, cold, but I love it. I love people, I love the culture, very strong spirit about it. Now, I think I'm going to move on to the next step, where I'm going to talk to you about why One Source Network. I am an avid member of the network, showing strength in coaching to help and to develop practice of improving any aspects of one life. This is very, very crucial for me. I didn't enter the network of One Development Source by making money. It was mainly for me to develop the practice of improving any aspects of life, including one's health, education, relationship, career, goals, and well-being. So I am now becoming extremely passionate, almost obsessed by the coaching skills developing, and I think One Source Network has provided me with that. For me, I've had almost a very successful career, but in terms of my mental, I have developed a lot of mental health recently. Not because I'm not strong and healthy, as simply I am suffering from chronic condition called cholesteatoma, where is a growth of tissues in the ear, and it eats absolutely everything. So it affects my life of every day, and you become extremely ill. It's almost like COVID, really ill. And I think less than 1 year ago, in November, during the pandemic, I've had 2 operations, and the last operation completely killed me, completely destroyed me mentally, physically. I couldn't walk. I was in a hospital for 1 week. Lost completely the balance. And that was completely a killer for my mental health, because I am very sporty. I am a previous ballerina, classic dancer in France. I was in opera. So for me, it was very, very important. I've got very good, healthy style of life, really healthy. I cook everything from A to Z. I am Mediterranean, of course, as you know. We do have a very stable, healthy, rich diet. So I don't drink at all fuzzy drinks, apart from wine, of course. As a French, that's very crucial. This chronic condition, this disability illnesses just completely destroyed me. And I find myself extremely isolated, lonely, completely lost in terms of my career, in terms of everything. But I knew deeply in my heart that coaching was inside me, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to spread that. I wanted to learn from it, and also to join a network that I could really thrive in it, and I could find happiness. So I looked onto online, and I found One Source Network. I've emailed this guy, Patrick Kailan. I didn't know who he was, and I thought, I'm just going to do it. So I emailed him, and I was recruited really kindly. We had conversations, and right we clicked. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Unfortunately, I followed my first sessions, or the second, I think, if I'm right, Patrick and Sean, and I ended up later in a hospital with this big, huge operation where they removed everything from me, and have been announced that I would be paralyzed. I would not find the balance again, and it would just affect my life. It was a huge trauma, as you know. However, Patrick and Sean, Patrick allocated me, Sean, my consultant and coach, and helped me really to go through each day, every day, a hospital by texting me, emailing me, making sure that I was strong, mentally. And I have realized that I do have a flair actually for coaching. But the point I'm telling you with my probably very touching story is that coaching changed completely my life. The source, especially the personal growth development, I do apologize, has completely changed my life. And why? It just helped me completely to see all the aspects of self-improvement needed, not only during the pandemic, but in the 21st century, for institutions, for organizations you can use, for charity, for education, if you have families. I also made me realize, because when you're lost completely, you do not understand. And I think where the One Source Network has helped me completely with Sean and Patrick is simply to develop the 3 basic life that applies to every situation, linked to the purpose, the focus, and the balance, as Patrick will give us. And the first things I will tell you is awareness. Without awareness, you will get nowhere in life. It's only by opening your eyes to your situation that you will be able to see where you are stuck. If you are stuck, there is always room for improvement, and you will never be able to change your situation for the better if you are not aware of what is actually taking place. So the network has made me aware and bring me that awareness that was very crucial inside me. And after that, they walked with me through still the focus, the balance, and the purpose of life, with that dashboard in terms of health, and especially the personal growth development, because the health, yes, I struggled with it, but I was still quite strong as an athlete. Responsibility, they made me realize that there is a responsibilities, and I had to take my responsibility for that. So now that I was aware of the situation, I find myself into responsibility to do what I can change that mental health completely and becoming a better person. So many people get stuck at the awareness stage, and you think, yes, then because we don't want to take a responsibility for things we don't like. So if you do not take a responsibility for your situation, you will not change. And this is what the One Source Network is very good at. So making you aware exactly of what you want, take a responsibility. And the last one is all my fantastic colleagues that I work with them. Linda, we call her the princess. Steve, we call him the charming prince, and Sean, who's Shrek, and I am Fiona. The actions. Without action, all is lost. So it is one thing to be aware of your situations, and another thing to take a responsibility for it. But without taking action to change it, you will remain stuck. And how do you do that? By simply following the dashboard. So action can be difficult, very difficult in some cases, but it means changing your life for better it's worth. So action is absolutely crucial and fundamental. The One Source of Network has made me really shape my life in a better situation, and tailored also my purpose, my balance in life with this dashboard. And I will finish very quickly, Patrick, so I do apologize about that. If you allow me, of course, and if it's enough time.
No, all you need.
Yeah, is also, I realized that, and also the One Source Network make you realize that when you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. That's from Tony Robbins' quotes, but also it's a quote from Sean and Patrick. Being grateful is one of the fundamental rules for personal growth. And I think the One Source Network has that key area of gratefulness. So that's very important. When we live in a fear and keeping on reminding ourselves of what we lack, that's precisely what we attract even more in our lives, more fear and more lack. And I think with my operations, I developed that kind of fear, and this source, one network source, has completely shaped that, made me completely happy in terms of that, and make it as a gift. So I would probably finish with this. Every problem is a gift. This is how I've realized with Patrick and Sean. and with a problem we would not grow. So life is easy when everything is going well, yet once problems occur, we feel as our whole life is misery. But actually, there is always something better. And I would like today to thank you very, very much. I'm very emotional. I've got tears in my eyes. Patrick and Sean has completely saved my life during a very, very difficult, critical time for me. So thank you. So you will benefit from this one. So don't forget to be persistent, consistent, and just keep going. And we will all help you to make a better life and a safe world. Thank you.